Now is as good a time as any to unmute and then go live. Blah, we're live.
Are we?
We are live. We're like live, like not just live, but like live,
But like
live.
live.
Yeah, like when you.
I love every time. Is that live? I'm like, yeah, man, wherever you want. I don't
Whatever.
know.
It's like when you used to say like I like you, like. It's like real now. We're like live.
For real. For real. Better be a good show. Well, the
Wow.
guns are here. Oh, no.
Wow.
Johnny Five is alive. He is alive, man. I'm surprised they haven't remade that movie yet.
I was just talking to somebody the other day about that. I'm really surprised that those movies. Hey, look at that.
What's
look at
up,
that raid.
Lanimaniacs? Thanks for the raid.
Thank you so much.
How's
Good
it going,
timing.
everyone?
We're like
you're just in time for our Monday news show.
Monday, we out here.
You think you say for real?
Hmm.
I think I say real talk.
Real talk. Yeah.
All you raiders here. I'm Tom.
And I'm Josh.
That's Josh.
What's up?
If Nick didn't intro us, we had a podcast with Nick a while ago about Up.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's on the YouTube.
Today on Mondays, we go over the nerdy news and we answer questions from the audience of all the nerdy topics. So if there's something we didn't cover, you could bring it up.
Yes.
But we do a little pre-talk right now, a little
little pre-show, little bit of housekeeping. We'll do that in the pre-show. We are up for nomination again for the podcast awards, so it would be awesome if people would stop by and vote for us, so we can be in the final nomination pool. So if you go to nerdon.tv/nominate, look at that. We won last year. So
many hours of podcasting for that.
That's why we had to take a break, Tom. Yay. So some more housekeeping before we actually get into the show. If you are new to this show, it is our weekly podcast news show, and we spend the first half just talking about any sort of nerdy news that we were excited about, and then the last half we answer questions, and Mamba has been so kind as to post the link. nerdon.tv/questions is where you can submit them. You can also submit them here in chat, and if we don't get to them today, we will get to them another day. That's not today. Maybe next week. Maybe. I don't know. It's the Wild Wild West.
It's Will Smith.
Oh.
Kevin Kline.
Yeah.
It's Kevin Kline.
Yeah.
and Salma Hayek's butt out of the little flap.
Wild Wild West.
And then a large fucking spider.
What a good movie.
Large fucking spider. What was I gonna say? Some shit. How's everyone in the chat doing? How was your week started? How was your weekend? It's been so long since I've seen some of you. Just less than 24 hours ago.
Been streaming more, Tom.
Well, I was like, if we're not doing podcasting as much, so I was just like, might as well just.
I was almost gonna stream yesterday, and then I saw your notification. I was like, well.
Fucking T-Dog put me out on a Hollow Knight, and I'm just like, shit, I need to, the way that you were about Elden Ring is a little bit like how I was about Hollow Knight, where I'm like, okay, I just need to understand this game and just beat it and just be done with it, because it's very much it kind of just begs you to keep playing it and playing it and playing. You're like, fuck.
Oh, now you're upset. I think I've said this, but my cousin got me into WoW Classic, and I'm now at the fade. He was on a camping trip this weekend, and so usually we play together. And I was like, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get on there and I'm gonna farm leather, and that's where I'm at. I'm at a place where I'm like, yeah, I'm cool with that. I'll go farm some leather and up my leather work. What is happening? What is happening?
I know what's happening. We got a big show for y'all tonight, since it's just two of us. We got multiple news factoids today. And if
Yes.
there's anything that we missed, bring it up in the chat, bring it up in the questions at our second part.
I
But
think next
Josh, you
week is
want to
going to
open
have a
up
lot
this
of
one?
news. Yeah, sure. Because this week is Comic-Con, right?
This week is Comic-Con, although there are some things that like I have missed, and I'm like, I should bring that up. I'll talk about it because that's kind of hype. It's kind of hype for me.
It's
it
hypey.
is.
It's hypey. Yeah. So I will start the show. We're gonna go to intro animation, and then when we come on back, I'm gonna start the show. But here we intro. Claps for fun. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Nerd On Update, our weekly show in which we talk about the nerdy news that is exciting, interesting, sad. We've talked about sad news to us, and the later half of the show in which we answer questions from you, the people. And we don't really do any housekeeping or any introductions, so Tom, you're the logical person to go first because I'm already talking, so you do you.
I will go first. So first things first, something that came to my attention while I was streaming the other day. I was playing Mega Man Battle Network. If you don't know what y'all know who Mega Man is, Rockman, Mega Man, Jumpman with the gun. Y'all know it's blue guy. Most known for platforming games, side scroller left to right. And there was the Mega Man series, then there's Mega Man X, and then there was Mega Man NT Warrior or Battle Network, and then there was
There's
like
so much
Star
more
Force.
Mega Man than I knew.
There's a lot of Mega Man, and then there's like I don't even know his name. He's got like a regular name. It's like Bolvy or something like that. It's the one without the helmet. And Mega Man Battle Network was my favorite one. Of course, guess why? They had an anime. But that wasn't the main reason why I liked it.
Was that just like a shoe-in for your like, hey, I like it?
I mean, well, I enjoyed. I found the game in like 8th to 7th grade, whatever. I started with the third one, and I was playing it through. And I was playing on stream, and then a bunch of people kind of came in. They were saying like, "Oh, are you excited for the Legacy Edition or the Legacy Collection?" I'm like, "What the fuck? What are you talking about? What are you talking?" And then I wisened up and just Googled it, and then I was like, I looked on YouTube and I saw some trailers and all that stuff. So it was, there's a Legacy Collection. So the entire Mega Man Battle Network series is they did a Pokemon. They did a, hey, here's a game, and then here's version white, version blue,
Here's more.
version red, version blue. So they did that after the third one. So the Legacy Edition is going to have 10 games, and that's going to be on, I think, every console. You can buy physical and digital, and there's going to have an ability where you can do HD mode. There's gonna be music. There's not really a lot of cool like exclusives, but the fact that it's gonna be re-released for new consoles is pretty dope for me. So people can start playing, because I think it was one of those gems that people didn't really get a chance to play. So just to understand what normal Mega Man play style, it's again side-scrolling left to right platformer, right? You shoot guys, you go through a level, you fight a boss. Sometimes you have like a select screen where you go to different bosses and stuff like that, and you just go through, and and then at the end you do a boss rush and fight the final boss. In Mega Man Battle Network, there was like, here's a story. Of course, I can't miss out on Zero. And base games and stuff like that, where they expanded the story of the older ones. But this is just for particularly Mega Man Battle Network. It was isekai, which means like you can go into another world. It had active battle systems. It was a chip collect them all, like cards or like Pokemon, where you can make your folder, your roster more expansive based on how much you did. There was random encounters, so that did suck. But then there was also a lot of just a good variety of how you play the game, where the levels were dungeon crawling, and then also just the way that the story kind of expands to this crazy wild thing, because it's all done in like the 20 something century, and like every kid's got like a pet, so it was like Digimon at the same time. It was doing so much, and it was, to me, I think what Capcom was trying to do was like make a Pokemon-esque Mega Man game. I think they succeeded, and it was way ahead of its time. It was actually one of the first games for Game Boy Advance where they had esports. They had competitive battles, so you can battle against other people, and this entire iceberg of Mega Man stuff was revealed to me recently, because like I was just like, man, I want to play some OG games of my childhood that like I thought I really liked. And I definitely realized that the first two games are very antiquated, of like, oh my god, this kind of like some of the random counters in Dungeon Crawling kind of suck, but like the music, the sprite work, the battle, like it's so good, but it is bogged down by a lot of just old like random encounters crap, and just like weird funky controls. But they definitely get the formula better as the games go on. And I didn't realize how big the community was. And seeing that Capcom's re-releasing this Legacy Edition, the release date is in early 2023. That's all has been said, and it's going to be in two parts: Legacy Edition 1 and Legacy Edition 2. So I'm assuming they're going to split it down the middle, probably like five, like 3, and then they'll do 4, and then each number after 3 has 2 games. So it's like 4, 2 games, 5, 2 games, and then 6 is 2.
That's a lot of games.
So, it's a lot of games, but like the way I think about it as well is, if you think Pokemon like has a lot of games, like they're all the same game, kind of. You're like a boy or a girl, and you get a Pokemon, and then you beat up everybody, and then
it's the Pokemon formula.
It's the same game, but like better graphics and better mechanics, and then but it's like it's the same thing. It's not really changed too much. But anyways, Mega Man's coming out. Next bit of news. For all you raiders out there, from new audiences who don't know, I subscribe to the Church of the Zacky Snydies. There's not a church. Please don't conflate that.
Please don't. Please
but
don't.
The reason why I bring this up is because there's been a lot of conversation lately, specifically tomorrow on Tuesday, the 19th of July, the year of our Lord,
2022.
She God. Zack Snyder's Justice League will be available on digital. Why is that a big deal? Is because
the movie wasn't supposed to happen.
It was supposed to happen like when it was supposed to be released, but the physical copies came out semi shortly after the release on HBO Max, and so it was exclusive to HBO Max. And now that it's not exclusive to HBO Max, you can get it on digital, and you can watch it from other devices or whatever, and without having to stream it. Kind of shows that like Warner Brothers Entertainment is a little bit, it is changing for a fact. Like under AT&T and the older management, it was kind of like this dirty secret they were just trying to hide. And then the people at HBO Max were like, hey, this is a way for us to get stream numbers and all that stuff. And there's a big, huge demand for it. And now it feels like they're kind of like, hey, we're going to be listening to what people want. Again, a corporate company using more of greed instead of pride, I think is, greed. They're like, hey, there's money on the table. People want this. That's something that Kevin Feige has talked a lot about on the other across the street at Marvel, of like particular cast decisions of like, I want to make Marvel fans' dreams come true. At the end of the day, if you are someone who supports the Snyderverse, you're typically someone who's just like, let all the projects go through, like more Joker, more Ava DuVernay, New Gods. Like there shouldn't be a reason why it could only be one thing. Like it is a multiverse, so let it all happen. And the reason why I bring this all up is because tomorrow it's a release. So if you want to support that and you want to see continuation of that, you got to show with your dollars. But there's just a lot of conversation of particular people involved, such as as Mega Man, as Henry Cavill. The Rock has constantly on social media, again, one of the most famous people in the entire world. He constantly says like, I'm hearing you, I'm listening to you, we want to make this the best Black Adam movie as possible. He is an executive producer, so him, Danny Garcia, Steve should be talking about this. Talked about like, hey, we're trying to get the Man in the Cape to come in and do this, because it's been 9 years since Man of Steel's come out. There hasn't been like a solo Superman thing, and Justice League was the last time we saw him. Other than that, you saw a headless version of Superman in Shazam, and you saw a silhouette of him at the end of a show that I can't talk about because I got yelled at. It's unfortunate to think about that. And I think there's just a lot of rumors right now of like, hey, they're trying to get people back to work on new projects. And there is an idea that, Henry Cavill has been working with the execs, but also there's just a lot of back and forth. Anyways, why is this a big deal? Because a lot of reports coming out for streaming. We're in the age of pandemic, post-pandemic era, or like what are the numbers now?
Yeah. What do
And
things actually look like?
Zack Snyder's Justice League has been in the top 10 of the most demand films for the last 4 quarters, which is a pretty big deal most of the time. Like other things like Peacemaker, Godzilla, Mortal Kombat, other HBO things have dropped off. Where I think last time was mentioned on most polls was that Zack Snyder's Justice League was at 6. Still the top is more likely like the newer Marvel shows, whatever's coming out from Disney. But the fact that there's still staying power with that should be showing that this is a viable thing.
Yeah. There's more than interest. Like there's
and there's more talk of it because comic book fandoms is probably the most exhausting thing to keep track of. I'll tell you that right now. And the Russo brothers recently did a Vanity Fair video promoting The Gray Man, which has Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans, and they did Russo brothers answered questions, and it was what if the Russo brothers directed Justice League, and they praised the Snyder Cut, saying like this is the only version, don't watch any other versions, which if anything is moving the needle or it's getting people to be like, hey, it doesn't have to be volatile, it doesn't have to be one versus the other. It could be like, hey, if everyone's doing great, then we just get better movies and better films at the end of it all. So competition helps.
Yes, it does.
Competition helps. If there's no competition on the streets, then no one's going to be trying to make anything good or risky or worthwhile anymore, unless it's A24 with $50 million. 25 if you count everything everywhere all at once. But that is all my news.
That is all Tom's news. My news, I'll start with something that's I always feel weird when there's personal news, but I really wanted to spread the word on this because really proud of it, and I've been under NDA for years, and so I want people to know about it. I was the audio producer for the CW television network's podcast Mysteries Decoded, which came out over the past week. Been working on it for a really long time, and even Patton Oswalt himself tweeted about it, which was it's just, for me, I love Patton, so it was cool to see that. But yeah, check it out. There's some really creepy stories, but there's things about like Bigfoot, black-eyed children, Montauk, aliens, UFOs, all these different things that are super creepy, and I'm not used to these things yet. I will get used to these cool things that I made that I thought would be cool. Anyway, so yeah, that's really exciting. It's on all the different podcasting apps. It's on Apple Podcasts. It's everywhere. So check it out. And then my next news, Fallout, the TV show. We found out about this a couple of years ago, and we're getting some behind the scenes. Well, not really behind the scenes, but some scene and location shots, and it's a pretty big one. It's a Super Duper Mart. Some people are speculating because the Super Duper Mart was something that was mentioned in Fallout 3. It's a pretty notable location in Fallout 3, and so people are speculating that maybe they are pulling from and being inspired by Fallout 3. Don't know, but the pictures are cool. That was quick news. And then I thought that this was interesting. Found this out today because it came out today. Most of the time when you look at a director's repertoire, you will most assuredly find music videos on their repertoire. Except for one person, Steven Spielberg. Until now. He directed his first music video for Marcus Mumford of Mumford & Sons. Marcus is having his first solo album debut, and I was laughing because I always think of these things where I'm like, oh yeah, of course it's Mumford & Sons, and I'm like, how did that happen? And then I realized that his wife is Carey Mulligan. So probably, hey, Steve, would you do this for it? I watched the video. It's a beautiful song. Very simple. Well, I say simple, but it's a one-shot music video.
Spielberg won her.
It's very beautiful. Kate Capshaw, Spielberg's wife, was the producer, art director, and dolly grip. He posted some pictures of Kate. Steven Spielberg is just in like an office chair, and his wife, Kate Capshaw, is just pulling him back and forth and moving the. It's pretty awesome, but beautiful song.
You should post it on the Discord.
I will post it on the Discord. Beautiful song that he wrote over the pandemic. But yeah, I thought that was cool because for me, it's what is it? It's kind of a breath of fresh air to have somebody like Steven Spielberg go, yeah, I'll direct your music video. Yeah, he's I would say a pretty big musician, pretty famous. And also to do it the way that he did it, I thought it was it's very, I mean, once you see it, and he shot it with his iPhone too. So I just think that it's, I don't want to say, oh, he stepped down from his high place in the clouds and was like, yes, I will direct your, what do I have? I have my iPhone. Okay.
I promise you, if there was any crew, they were making that joke.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Because I'm telling you, I've worked on music videos, and every single time someone asks, like, what's the production? You always say mayonnaise commercial. Because it might as well be, because you're just like, oh my God, there's no money in this.
Yeah. I mean, you could tell. Like, it's, it looked like it was like a favor. Let's do this thing. Yeah, let's do it. So yeah, that's all my news. Very quick. Next part of the show is in which we answer questions from you, the people. I said that at the top, and I'm going to say it again because it's important. And thank you, T-Dog, for putting the link. If you would like to submit questions, go to nerdon.tv/questions. There are all the ways that you can submit questions right on that handy page on our website. My favorite way is to actually head on over to our Discord, nerdon.tv/Discord. And there are channels within there, but my ultimate, Sorry,
I was gonna ask a question before you started the first one, but go on.
Okay, no, I wasn't there yet, but the ultimate favorite way and the way that you can get really the most out of Nerd On is to join the Nerd On Nation. Not only do you get to support us in doing this and doing this more, you also get perks. You get behind the scenes. You get the Nerd On Nudge, which applies to this show, where we will answer your questions first. But
Tom, low as $1.
As low as $1.
Just $1.
Yeah.
$1 for you goes a long way for us.
Exactly. We got bills to pay. Did you want to say something before I go into the?
Yes, I want to ask you two questions.
Two questions. Me too.
Two quick questions.
Okay.
Fallout show? Last of Us show?
Oh, you're asking me which I'm most excited about?
One's got to go for the rest.
Oh, one's got to go. Interesting. Honestly, I think the one that I would have go is The Last of Us.
Because the game is already cinematic as fuck.
Yeah, it's already like playing. Like I think that I'm most excited with Fallout Walton Goggins. He's one of my favorite modern actors.
Yeah.
And he's just so good in whatever he does, so I'm really interested. I'm really interested to see what they do with The Last of Us. Of course.
Craig Mazin's great.
Yeah, but I would definitely say goodbye to The Last of Us.
Second question.
Oh.
Did you see that music video with Jack Quaid and Aaron Moriarty? And it's the remake. It's like a music video of Have You Ever Seen the Rain?
No.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, like, so you're just like, oh,
is it like for real, or is it like a spin-off of The Boys? Because they're both in The Boys.
Well, there's like, so it's them two just driving around America, and they got a friend who is definitely not in The Boys, and then is just the song in the background, and it's just like, did they just record this? And then they're like, slap a song in the background. Well, okay, cool, we re-release it. And you're like, it was, I think I remember like coming across like all these songs on YouTube, and I was like, they released this music video like a year ago. Like, like how older songs sometimes don't have a music video, and you're like, okay, that's cool. And I'm like, the hell's Jack Quaid doing? What is Aaron? Is this the boys? Is this the boys?
Is this the boys? Because Only Murders in the Building, there was a song on one of the episodes, and Apple released like a music video, like kind of a joke music video to go along with it with Steve Martin and whatnot. So it's like,
I'll you post yours, I'll post mine on the Discord.
That we have homework. Let me make note. Well, I have homework. I know this. Josh, you have homework. Thanks, other Josh. Questions. First question. First question comes from Spencer 13H. Shout out, Spencer. Love you, heart you. You now can invent any popsicles you want to sell. What we licking? What are we licking?
Taco
popsicles.
I was going to go in so many worse directions.
Were there going to be like innuendos and stuff like that? Like,
no, I would just straight up say penis popsicle, but like,
yeah.
But I was like,
oh, no innuendo, just like jumping right in.
But I was like, taco. Like, you have to taste corn tortilla and beef in this old.
See, when you said that, I went, that's not a bad idea, but how do we make that? Do you just like blend a taco together? Because that just changes everything.
I mean, I think you do it where there's like you blend up the meat and the cheese and you have that spice in there. And then you definitely put in like flakes of tortilla as it freezes.
Yeah. Yeah, because like when you're having tacos, like I've been thinking about this because tacos is one of my favorite things. It's something that we make. And you get the taco seasoning, like McCormick taco seasoning. And you start to think of like what's really the important flavors of something. Like a cheeseburger, like depending on what's on it, like do you really need the cheese? Because do you taste the cheese with everything else that's going on? You know?
I was thinking about that just last night. I spatchcocked a chicken and
you spatchcock what?
That's when you break it apart and you like open it up and you take out the bones.
Oh, I've never heard that word, so you learned something new.
And I was thinking about it. I was actually like legit thinking about the cooking, and I was just like, I think so many things are done in tradition, like you say, and dogmatic, and a lot of people just don't think about it. They're just like, this is the recipe. And you're like, but do you really like this, or do you just think you like it because you put it in there all the time? But like the natural flavor of chicken is actually just very good too. Yeah. And then like I took out the bones and I made a chicken broth out of it, or stock. And I was like, this has a good depth to it, especially if you get it to boil and then you skim the scum and then you put it back to medium and then you're just like, let it go for a while and you just add a little bit of salt and then you're like, okay, cool. This is all I need. Literally the chicken, I was just like salt, and I just let it rest there for like an hour. So it's like, cool. It's just I'm just taking away all the moisture. And then I, put some paprika and a little bit of like black pepper. And I was just like, throw it on a grill. And I was like, cool. I'll put a weight on it. So it's like, I'm grilling the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And it like self-cooked in such a way. I was like, this is almost too salty. And I was just like, holy crap. Like I was thinking about the same thing of just like, there's so many things I think people just like add this shit in there and they don't know why. And like, I know sometimes, especially with ingredients, like it will change. Like if you add sugar to things,
and if you mix things up, like, you have all the ingredients, but you don't, once you mix it up, it just becomes this mash of stuff that is put together instead of like I'm having some of this on this plate now. And like, and like with tacos specifically, it's like you've got the shell, you've got the meat that has its seasoning, and you got cheese, and you got lettuce, and you got all these things. And it's like, if you just blend that all up and freeze it, is it going to taste the same as like, taco?
Maybe.
Popsicle. What kind of popsicle would I want?
Popsicle. Yeah, popsicle.
Hey there, little boy. Do you want a popsicle?
This Family Guy reference. Family Guy reference.
Hey there.
Don't ban.
Hey there. Don't ban.
Cheese.
Death cheese popsicle.
This is just a stick of cheese.
He's just a stick of cheese.
It's not even a popsicle. You have to have a certain amount of water content to be a popsicle.
I'm sorry. I have to mention this, and I have to give a shout out to On TikTok, was it B-Rad or Gotti? I'm sorry. It might have been B-Rad. I'm sorry.
One of the homies.
One of the homies sent me a TikTok, and it was this girl, and she was like, you know what the problem with today's world? We're like celebrating mental illness, and she has a fucking brick of cheese, a stick of butter in her hand. And it was B-Rad. She has a stick of butter in her hand, and it yeah, exactly. Whitest Kids You Know. It transfers to the Whitest Kids You Know skit where they're unpacking things of butter, sticks of butter, and they're like, don't you think it's weird that we're just like selling butter? Like nobody, but anyway, it's just like butter, just eating. Anyway, popsicle. It's just a stick of cheese. It's just frozen. I don't even know if I could do it. It's like a cheese stick, but froze. Anyway, next question. S-Tree.
Next.
What superhero / villain drives the same car as you?
Peter Parker, because he's poor.
Yeah. 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 I would think that Peter Parker would fix his fender, but it's cool. No.
He doesn't. No, he doesn't have the money to do that.
No.
I mean, if anything, he might. Also in the chat, Peter can't afford a car. That's why he rides a bike and he swings around.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's true.
So who's a little bit richer than Peter Parker? Mark Grayson, Invincible.
Yeah. Yeah. Drives your car?
He drives my car.
Okay. My car isn't particularly nice, but it's a Honda HR-V. It's blue. I like to imagine that Superman would drive it because it's not flashy. It's just like
in New York. He owns a car in New York.
Man, he could do whatever he wants. He can do. No, you're right. That's a terrible.
What's gonna happen? He's gonna pay for the freaking parking for it.
Yeah, that's. He's gonna pay for
his bill.
He's gonna pay for the monthly parking bill. And
Lois is just like, I can't win as many Pulitzers as it costs to have this parking.
Or he is going to like carry it somewhere and put it on top of like a mountain or something like that. It's like free parking. He's gonna park it. He's gonna park it at the Fortress of Solitude by carrying it there and just placing it. Let my dreams be dreams.
Metropolis is New York.
Actually, Clark doesn't live in New York. Come on. Next question.
It's New York during the daytime. Gotham is New York during the nighttime. Okay.
Yeah. Next question comes from TDog8282. What video game has the prettiest area?
Video game has the prettiest area. Oh, come on. I mean, the thing is, there are some games that just make things pretty. They're just like, to me, I think about movies and I'm like, I really respect people who are just like, I'm going to make every shot look so damn beautiful. And there's some games just like,
you just stop and you just kind of like, this is pretty. I think Elden Ring is beautiful. There are some places that I'm just like wandering about and I'm like, this is gorgeous. This is so cool.
Even like the hellscapes.
Yeah, even the hellscapes where you're like, I'm not supposed to be here. That's probably blood, but that's beautiful.
I would say, the one I was going to say is like a cheat is Breath of the Wild. And Breath of the Wild, I think, is like the more pastel version of Elden Ring. Giant landscapes and vistas and beautiful mountain ranges and different, non-human inhabitants. I know a Dead Ringer probably is Red Dead 2.
Oh yeah, it's so fun to like. That's a game that's so fun to just like ride around on your horse and just like look at things. Last of Us 2, like I love like kind of like the God, he's in the same mind. Horizon Zero Dawn is beautiful, but Last of Us 2, like just wandering around like an apocalyptic, like overgrown city. I don't know why that imagery. I just love that. Like the
nature
idea,
reclaiming.
Yeah, nature taking over a city. There's just some cool parts in video games where you just kind of want to stop and be like, wow, this is cool.
Let's do a little bit of a listicle. I think Journey.
Yeah.
Journey's really nice. I would say prettiest areas. I mean, for the pretty. This is like really cute. I would say honestly, AC/DC Town in Mega Man is so like it's like this, like Link to the Past, the game that you played on Switch, where it's like everything's just so cute
Yeah.
looking.
Yeah.
Just like that. I was like, oh my god, everything's just these little boxy, cute houses, and there's like a little park, and there's a little subway station that
It's
goes.
so cute.
And you have like a little top-down view. Other pretty areas. I mean, same thing with Elden Ring, Bloodborne. I love the gothic aesthetic.
Yeah.
So like, yes, Link's Awakening. That's what I meant. In the chat. Ooh, Final Fantasy
Yeah.
remake.
Yeah.
I mean, anything Square Enix makes, right? Anything Square Enix makes is like just stupid beautiful.
Yeah.
They're just like the graphics, the company.
Yeah, I mean, there were some parts of Fallout 76 that I like to wander about. Yeah, I think somebody's right. I like eco-brutalism. I think like Sea of Thieves is kind of beautiful. Some of those places, like you're just like, this is just, especially when you're like sitting on like the front of the ship and you're just like looking out, like looking at the water. You're like, damn, this is beautiful.
I haven't played it yet, but I do know because I got it on Switch and I have it on PC because I was like, I want to play this. Is Gris? Everything looks like a painting in there.
Mhm.
Oh, I mean, I guess freaking Okami is one of those too. Like where it's just like it's just a pretty looking game, and like in terms of areas specifically, yeah, I could we could technically go on and on because I think there's some games are just like I mean also Ori and the Will of the Wisps, I think is beautiful looking. What other games? I don't know. That's all I got right now.
There's a lot of games with beautiful areas. Well, I mean, that's all the kind of pre-submitted, pre-selected questions. You get to go to your cabinet of chat questions.
My cabinet.
The curio of chat questions.
Yes. I'm going to do this one right here. This one that's been waiting here for such a long time. This one's from
It's your favorite
Battery
Halloween
Print.
costume. Just kidding.
Congratulations. You survived an apocalyptic event. Which processed foods would you hunt down to enjoy the last time before it spoils? Processed food before it spoils. Processed food before it spoils.
I almost said Spam, but that stuff lasts forever. It's peanut
cheese stick.
I mean, peanut butter's not gonna last forever. I want to get some like.
It lasts pretty long.
It does last pretty long, but it's still gonna go bad.
If you get the good one that like the oil is supposed to separate.
Yeah.
Processed food. A processed food?
I would want to get as much chunky peanut butter as I could. Ooh, and
I'm having like a problem of differentiating like what's a processed food.
Yeah, what is a processed food?
If I can put it into a freezer, is that technically perishable? Or is it like no matter what, it will go bad if you don't touch it? Like you cannot put, I don't know, meat in a freezer forever, but like is bacon, is that a processed food that like I'd have to worry about? Or like eggs? I guess eggs is one. If you freeze it, you kill it. If it's in the fridge for too long, it dies.
Yeah.
But I know like in Zombieland, it's like a Twinkie, right? So it's like,
yeah,
got to make sure that the Twinkies are okay.
Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts?
Yeah, Pop-Tarts.
Okay.
Brown sugar Pop-Tarts. There it is.
Anything you can grab from a 7-Eleven. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Gotti, Josh's Preserves. Damn right. They're so good.
Anything I can grab from a 7-Eleven? Bugles, baby.
Are you putting them on your fingers?
Yeah.
One last time.
These buttery, cheesy, garbagey things.
Oh man, Gardettos.
Oh,
Gardettos. Yeah. Oh, the rye chips.
Pork rinds.
Oh, okay.
Pork rinds.
All right.
I love them pork rinds, baby.
Oh,
I want that crunch, that fatty crunch.
Ooh.
Next question?
Yeah.
Next question. This one comes from Zell. What game are you most excited for to come later this year or next year? I know one game that Josh could be saying.
Yeah,
if he
what do you think?
remembers it.
What do you think? Oh, wait. I'm looking forward to Plague Tale 2.
Oh, okay.
But what were you gonna say? What were you gonna say?
I was thinking that you would be all about God of War Ragnarok.
I'm super excited about that, but Plague Tale 2 is the Reloaded. I think it's called Requiem. I forget. I'll find out.
But the Reloaded is the third one.
That's the
and then
third
Revolutions is the fourth one. And then Revelations. Is it Revelations? What the hell was fucking
Yeah, it's
Matrix?
Requiem. I was right.
What was the newest Matrix? Was it Revelations?
Resurrected.
Resurrection is the, is the next one.
Yeah.
Game for me? I mean, I already mentioned Mega Man, so for variety, I'm kind of interested in seeing what this new Pokemon game's about. Like, was it Stars or Violet and Magenta or Scarlet and Violet? Yeah. I have no idea. I still haven't even played Arceus yet, and I'm just like, shit. I got that for Christmas, and I haven't even fucking goddamn. And so I
haven't even played.
Okay, so look. Okay.
I want to play Stray. It comes out tomorrow, actually.
I thought it comes out. Or it already came out.
No, it says the 19th. The reviews have been great.
I want to play that game. That looks fun.
Yeah.
I mean, the next Spider-Man game probably. Suicide Squad. I want to play that because apparently it does look fun, but like there was someone that kind of mentions like if you think about it though, that's $120 game because you can play with your friends if they also got that game, and you're like, where versus It Takes Two, only one person needs to play that. It needs to have the physical copy for you to play that game.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, like. Is anyone actually going to play Suicide Squad with me? I don't know. Like,
I'll play it with you, Tom. We can probably
$60.
We can probably talk somebody into it. Maybe we can talk Gotti into it. But I mean, yeah, we're getting characters up to snuff for Wrath of the Lich King on WoW Classic. That comes out in a couple months. So new.
Also, hold on real quick. I gotta address something in the chat. Ethan, you wrong. If you freeze your Pop-Tarts, that's good. Freezing some s'mores Pop-Tarts, so good. But also toasting it, so good. You can have both ways.
If you're not toasting your Pop-Tarts, no, man, I like raw.
Addressing the chat as well. Gotti saying, I think there's a Crisis Core remake too. Square Enix said, hey, Final Fantasy VII, that moneymaker, we're making like 8 fucking sequels.
We got mobile games. We've got like
First Crisis.
Oh, we've got
Crisis,
Final Fantasy VII Remake,
Crisis.
Part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, the announcement I saw for that, I was like, how many Final Fantasy VII games are they making now? They just turned it into Kingdom Hearts. They just turned it into Kingdom Hearts. But also that's Square Enix. Square Enix be doing all that shit all the time.
Why are we surprised?
Final Fantasy X2? You mean 12? No, this is the second one of the 10th one. Dead. I can't.
Dead.
I'm like, I can't.
Next question.
Next question. I like this question. This is kind of
I want you to only ask the questions that you don't like.
Just kidding. It's kind of like, does this one sound good now, or does this sound good for another episode? This one is from T-Dog.
T-Dog.
What's the longest you have ever stayed up?
Ooh.
Without crashing your car?
See, technically, I didn't stay up. You
just had bad weeks.
Yeah, I had bad. Like, if you don't get a lot of sleep for long periods of time, your whole body's just like, bro.
You become the machinist.
Yeah. Oh shit. I think it was for a 48-hour film festival. I think, because I actually had to stay up for 48 hours. It was longer than that. It was while I was in, I don't know. That might be. There's also been some play festivals that I've done that were like 24-hour, 48-hour. What about you, Tom? While I think about it.
Oh, I mean, it's 48 hours, if not 56 hours, and it's done twice because it was for 48-hour film festivals, and I fucking like I think what people may not realize of like, oh, staying up so late and staying up for long periods of time is like blah blah. For me, there's something that weird that happens. My heart rate just goes up higher and higher, and I don't know if that's normal.
Mm-hmm.
But like staying up for 48 plus hours to shoot a film, work on the film, direct, write, cast, produce, look at locations, oversee the editing process. Sometimes I edit it. Doing that multiple times in my life now. Every single time I'm like, I've done it before. And the 48 hours and it's done. You'll have something accomplished. You'll feel so good. As the 36th hour rolls by, you realize like your heart is just like palpitating the entire time. And you're like, am I going to die? Like,
is this how I go?
Is this adrenaline? What is going on? But I know I got to see this through. And I was just like, everyone around me at some point has gotten sleep because I'm like, to me, I'm like, I kind of have to see this through and make sure if it's all translated and just communicate, right?
Yeah.
Like that's sometimes just the most important thing is just communicating through everyone else. We're like editors, they get to sleep. Actors, once the shooting's done, they're done. The camera people, once it's shot, it's done. Producers, like once it's all made, they're like, okay, cool, like let us know when you need help with delivery, but that's it.
Yeah.
But 48 hours, and I've done that multiple times, and it's not like cool, like I'm staying up to have, to play video games, which we've done where we stayed up,
Oh yeah.
Up to 24 hours playing Diablo, but like doing a film where you're actively going around using your brain, being on deadline, kind of having it's crazy. And it's not it's brilliant, and it really it's the most filmy you can get.
Yeah.
But yeah, that
By the end,
I've done like 3 48-hour film festivals. I've done one 52-hour film festival, which is like a weird number.
That is a weird number. Yeah, I think mine have been like entertainment based or like play based, and it's like as an actor, like you are kind of as much as you want to get some sleep to get prepared, you're like staying up because the writer is writing within amount of time, so you can start getting off book and all that kind of stuff. And then as like a sound guy, it's like we pretty much have like you're on call just in case for some reason they edited it and got it to you. So it's next question.
This is from Mamba. It's gonna be a little one-sided-ish, but when are we gonna talk about the Yu Yu Hakusho on Netflix? So, Yu Yu Hakusho is anime.
I know you've showed it to me.
Yes, it is created. I don't know the guy's name, but he ended up doing also works such as Hunter x Hunter. And Yu Yu Hakusho is a very celebrated anime. Because it is almost like not even a satire, but like a commentary on the shonen genre. So kind of like imagine like The Boys is to superheroes and superhero fandom, except Yu Yu Hakusho doesn't hate shonen, doesn't hate like Dragon Ball Z and other anime shows, but it does try to do it in the best way possible, where it's like, we're going to prioritize story over action and all that stuff, but we're never going to sacrifice animation. And so to talk about it on Netflix at large, there's always this account of this stigma, this connotation that like, oh, Netflix live action remakes are garbage, blah blah. There are a few that do well, and they tend to be not in English language. They tend to not have American actors. We've seen Cowboy Bebop now. One Piece is in production. Netflix is just gobbling up all these animes. They re-released Shaman King. So like Netflix is definitely in the anime game, but like Death Note comes to mind. And a lot of people are just kind of like, already shutting this down. Revealing the first actor, I think, who plays the main character.
Because this is a recent
announcement.
Yeah.
because Netflix did announce like, hey, we're going to do Yu Yu Hakusho, and everyone's like, yo, are they going to remake it? But like in anime form, like they did with Shaman King, and a lot of people were kind of excited, but like to do it as a live action, a lot of people were like, okay, I don't know. And I know people, like I've met some of the people who worked on the Cowboy Bebop show who were like unhappy with it. That being said, of course there's going to be anime people who are like, I'm excited about it, but also like I don't want the things that I love to be kind of not have the Avatar the Last Airbender movie effect happen on them.
Yeah.
So all I'm going to say and talk about it so we can move on to the next question is this. One, don't knock it unless you see it. You never know. It could be great. The Rurouni Kenshin live action films are seen and recognized by fans as something good, and they remain truthful, and they're good direction. It just depends on the direction and the writing. And hearing things like how Cowboy Bebop was, where it was like the cast was told not to watch the show, and things like that, where it's like it doesn't seem like you're trying to be faithful to that, but you're just trying to make your own thing. Those are the things that I'll question. But my tough thing about this, and the one thing I'll be like, I'm a little worried about it. So, Josh, imagine
Imagine if you will.
imagine they were going to do a remake of Walking Dead. And they showed 4 images. They showed a bat with a spike, and they showed a spear, and they showed a gun, and then a hat. And we know those all take place at very different times of the series.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the first image they show. And so you're like, why are you popping off real quick with like some of the most important characters in your first season? Like, are you just going to get a remix of it all?
Yeah.
And that's my thing, where the 4 main characters of Yu Yu Hakusho don't even come and play until the second season or second arc. Because, spoilers, the first season is all about the kid who's like this bully who ends up saving this kid's life. And then it's like, oh shit, we're going to send you to hell. But like, you did a really good thing. So now you're in purgatory. So you can earn your way back into the living. That's his whole arc, is like this kind of bad kid realizing he was kind of a bad kid, but he did one good thing. So now he has a chance to become a human again, and he has to become a better person to do that. And every single time he has a chance to do so, he always ends up sacrificing, which is like a very great thing in terms of karma. And it's like all this spirit stuff. And then the next arc is about him like learning how to use spirit powers and becoming a detective. And then like that's when he meets a demon. He meets 2 demons, and it's like cool. And then the 4th character, who's always been in the series, isn't really even like a main character until he realizes he has spirit powers in the 3rd arc. So like the fact that they're bringing all of them in immediately, it's like, I don't know.
What are you doing here? What is
like,
happening?
And that's the thing where it's like, I'm not going to try to knock it down before it even has a chance to breathe and grow. But it's kind of like, don't show like that guy already, especially if this is like season 1, unless these guys are going to be like very integral to the story. But even to that point where like the main reason people watch is for the main character, because it's like he's this like punk kid who doesn't take no for an answer, and he's just constantly being pushed to do the right thing all the time, and he kind of hates it, but he's like, it's the right thing to do. And then all these other characters supposed to show like, oh wow, human beings are good, human beings are capable of great things, and the demons are going to show like, oh, they're kind of igniting a humanity within us. So like it'll just be really weird to show them as an ensemble already. So.
Yeah. I've only seen the first episode because you showed it to me, so I've heard nothing but good things about it, and I have to watch it.
I think about that show in retrospect to a lot of other shows, a lot of other animes. I'm like, it's a really good story, and like it talks about like a lot of the tropes. So like, let's say, imagine like a trope in superheroes is like, heroes don't ever really get to go ham. So he's like imagining, what if Scarlet Witch really was just like, what if I just put the entire world in a dreamscape and just killed all of them? Like you never saw the true abilities of Scarlet Witch. And in superhero, in anime stuff, it's like people get powerful so quickly and that things don't matter. In Yu Yu Hakusho, it's like, we're gonna scale that down, and we're gonna make it more. And they even like point to it. It's like, oh, maybe his hair would turn yellow. It's like they're making fun of Dragon Ball Z.
So, I see what you did there. All right.
Next question.
Yeah, maybe the last question.
Last question. This is going to come from Eve, aka Ethan Who.
Who?
Question I asked Tom yesterday. Who was your first ever favorite character
Ooh.
of all time? You were like, this is my favorite. The one I answered with yesterday, it was on a stream, was it was probably Tommy from not Tommy, Jason from Power Rangers, because he was Red Ranger and his T-Rex, or it was Raphael from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or Batman. It was those three. Like, or no, not even Batman. Superman, because I liked Superman more than I liked Batman when I was a kid.
Yeah, I feel like mine goes to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think it's Leonardo. I think Leonardo was my favorite. I like blue. Yeah, I think. But for some reason, maybe it was Michelangelo. I don't know, because I had a giant size Michelangelo. So either A, somebody was lazy when they got me a gift, or B, I liked Michelangelo. I don't know.
I think in terms of the Academy Awards, Michelangelo is Spotlight, where he's not everyone's first, but he is everyone's second. Everyone's like, I like this one, but second Michelangelo. And that was the same thing with me. Raphael, because he was red, and then Michelangelo because he was funny.
Yeah, I've always been drawn to Leonardo. I think I'm pretty certain that is the case. And then I probably think, like, if you go down the fandom, it probably was like Power Rangers. I even thought The Mask, Jim Carrey, like The Mask. I was thinking, like, but he's
too powerful.
But like, who came out first? And I think it was the Ninja Turtles were out first before Mask. Yeah, that's it. Now we're in the awkward passing to the post show. Hey, we're in the post show.
Hey, I think about The Mask quite often in terms of like power scale. I'm like, The Mask can break reality.
Yeah,
he like, you know, it's always like, oh, what if Superman fought Homelander, or Superman versus Thor? It's like, The Mask.
What if the Mask got a hold of all of them?
The Mask would kill all. He doesn't eat. Literally could just eat dynamite. Literally could get shot and then eat the bullets and then shoot them back out.
I remember watching The Mask for the first time. It was, I think my friend and I both, it was like first grade or second grade, and we both had chicken pox, and we watched The Mask, and I remember feeling some new warm feelings for Cameron Diaz. Like, hello, nurse.
I think like that. The funny is, like,
I just thought about it. Marvin the Martian. That was my very first.
That was your first number one?
That was my first.
Okay, hold on. Not post show anymore.
We're not in post show. Addendum. Marvin the Martian.
Now post show.
Now post show.
Now post show. Marvin the Martian's good. I like that. I mean, oh man, I swear though. Like, you know what I actually want to play a lot? I want to play. That's the game. Go back. Not post show anymore. In show. Multiverses is the game that I want to play.
Yeah.
Post show. Yeah. Multiverses. I was just thinking about. I was like, dude, imagine if they did a Marvin the Martian game. You know, like, it'd be like Horizon Zero Dawn, probably not Horizon Zero Dawn, No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
And then like you're going to planets, like, I claim this planet.
I claim this planet in the name of Mars.
And like, but then like the locals come in, and he can like kill them or not kill them. I don't know, but it's like, I think that'd be kind of like funny, but maybe that's like close to like Destroy All Humans. But like Multiverses, I'm like, they need to. Looney Tunes and DC Comics, like, you don't realize, like, yo, the collaborative powers between the two, like Batman and the Scooby Gang, like going out doing some detective work,
getting some real actual video games with these properties,
or something. Do something with them. Make some more animated movies with them, or do like, I don't know, like it's just like the fact that they had Iron Giant, what his whole thing is like, I am Superman. And then like he's hanging out with Superman in Multiverses. I'm like, this is what you can have. You can do this.
Look at this.
Sylvester and Catwoman.
I feel like
Catwoman being the shit of them.
I feel like when it comes to the update, like, the show is just the show. Like, we should just like start.
I
don't know. You know, like with the
Oh, you're talking about this?
It's talking about this. Like I'm like, why don't we just like the way the show starts? It just starts. I don't know.
Yeah,
Man.
I mean, it would just be like 3, 2, 1, boom, 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 and then it's like, hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the show. This is what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
I mean, the way that I think the live version of the show, that's how it works out. It's very much like, again, in line with how Fat Man Beyond Fat Man Beyond is done, where they're like, hey, what's going on the show? They do a little chit chat, they catch up, see how their lives are doing, how their wives are doing, and then they talk about some shit that they saw or some shit they saw in the news.
Yeah.
And then they just ask questions for like an hour. So like,
Yeah.
or get questions asked for an hour. So it's like, yeah.
I can't wait till we can do live shows again.
Will probably be like
live audience. That was so much fun. I want to do that again.
I mean, I just think about that live audience. Oh, that's so fun. And it's like right after that was how COVID hit, and then also like now again on the cusp of Comic-Con, I'm just like,
super spreader.
I don't know. I'm just seeing too much shit on the news of just like.
No, I think it's going to be so long before that's even like a glimmer. I have had so many friends tell me that I got COVID, I went to Vegas, or I went to Disneyland, or I went to, it's like, the 3 top causes I was saying was Disneyland, Vegas, and some random ass family reunion barbecue. That it's like, I've heard that so many times where people are like, yeah, I went to a family barbecue, and it's just like, somebody in your family does not believe in vaccinations. I'm just saying. Anyway.
Or, I mean, the thing is like this newer Super Saiyan strain is like double as infectious, and like it doesn't give a shit if you've been vaccinated. And I'm just like, but I mean, the thing is right now is like if you have been vaccinated, then like the chance of you going to the hospital is like way lower. And so like I have a friend who like literally the doctor said like if she didn't have the vaccine, she would be on a ventilator.
Ooh.
And so to me, I'm like, thank God that you had the vaccine, right? And more and more people. I mean, like I think our circles of people that we know are starting to get it, like are colliding. People, my close friends of mine are getting it. People's family members I know are passing away because of it. And I'm just like, and that's the thing. It's such a privileged thing to say as a young person with a vaccine to be like, it's over for me. If I get it, I know I'll be a little sick. But like, I can't say that for everybody, and I can't compromise the health of other people who might have pre-existing conditions or may not be as physically fit or healthy as I am. And like, that's just like I hate feeling that way, because I'm like, I hate feeling like I have a better chance of survival than other people, or I'm physically more fit than other people, because it's just like, shouldn't we just treat it as well as like everyone is gonna be okay? But there's a lot of people who are like, I'm gonna be fine. I don't give a shit. Like, I'll go and I'll get sick and I'll cough for like 5 days and I'll be done. And I'm like, that's a very ignorant way of thinking about it, because you might, your family members might get it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
I've been like we said, I think last week, Bonnie and I, we haven't gotten it. We're like unicorns in our friends group, where it's just like, and we've traveled abroad. When I went to AnimeCon a couple weeks ago, I double masked. Like, I'm kind of astounded that I haven't gotten it, to be perfectly honest. Like, I'm like, wow, even going to the grocery store or whatever, it's like, wow, I'm astounded.
For the anime fans, we're just using Ultra Instinct. We're just dodging.
Yeah,
dodging.
That's my quirk.
Dodging.
Yeah. So who should we raid, Tom?
I don't know. Let me see. What do I got?
I don't know.
Where the fuck is my mouse? Okay.
Hey, real quick business. Everybody go to nerdon.tv/nominate. Sign up for an account. It's free. It's really quick. Sign up. Vote for us in entertainment, TV and film, and the People's Choice. And let's win again. Ooh.
Repeat.
We're doing it.
We're gonna raid your Moonstone. Looks like they're chatting, but it looks like they're talking about Pokemon shit. So I don't know what that's all about. I'm gonna hang in there and just see what they're talking about. So all you raiders won't be alone.
Nice. Hey,
thank you, Nick, for the raid. Thank you.
Yes.
Anyone else who's followed, and have a good rest of your week, baby.
Yeah. Take care of yourselves, everyone. We love you. We heart you. All that jazz. We'll see you soon because we are streaming more often. So here we are. But you know the drill. As always, nerd on.
Nerd on.